Welcome. Message from the streets. Today's topic, brief topic, but necessary. People don't realize how hard it is to speak the truth when most people are living in a world that is full of lies. Think about that. And you can just look around us every day in any society, in any community, in any nation, that there are lies on top of lies on top of lies. But I'm going to speak about here in the United States. Here in the United States, the founding foundation or the moral fibers of the ideology within this country is based on a lie. It's not based on the Constitution. It's based on so-called white supremacy. And that is the lie that the founding fathers, many of them advocated and promoted to the laymen's, the worker bees, and the effects of it have been very traumatic, to the point that these lies started hundreds of years ago, and they're still prevalent in the minds of many of the descendants of Caucasian, European, so-called white people. And on the flip side, some so-called black nationalists, they think that they are the gods and they are the superior beings, and there's no balance when it comes to these psychotic ideologies that's woven into, the construct of the United States. Lies. We're dealing with political lies. We're dealing with social lies. We're dealing with lies, dealing with inflation. We're dealing with lies, dealing with the monetary system. Lies. This is a nation that is built heavily on lies. And not just no little white lie. We're talking about big, gigantic white lies. When we look at the education system, lies. They want to continue to indoctrinate us in an era of information, whereas though that people read and research, and we see that we have been given the side of so-called history from a paradigm that is distorted and very misleading. And then when so-called melanated people come and want to tell their version, it is identified as CRT, critical race theory. Critical race theory is speaking the truth about events that have taken place within America's borders, about behavior patterns of malicious terrorists, so-called domesticated terrorists, so-called white people against black people. How is this some type of foreign entity of falsehood and deception and things of that nature? The thing is that there is no healing until the truth comes. And in that aspect, so-called whites don't want to admit to particular truths. And I'm identifying the so-called white people because this is where the healing got to start. So-called blacks and brown people and Latinos and Asians, they can get healed, but if so-called whites don't get healed, it's not going to be any true recovery, because at the head of the civilization of today in the United States, it is the overlords, the overheated hill gang on Capitol Hill that's running things. And only hope that we got is that in the future that these children are coming up today, that they're going to bring a different perspective when they get into these positions that they're being grown for, and they're going to go contrary to the lies and the tradition of their forefathers. Just like what happened in the 60s with the so-called hippie movement, or in different conscious movements and things. And when the children went to the university, the young people, they seen the lives of their parents in live action. They interacted with people with other nationalities, and then they became indifferent with the falsehood that they've been indoctrinated with. And we can see it right now in the day, with this this controversy in Israel. I'm gonna say that I'm not for Israel or Hamas or Palestine. I'm just for the saving of people's lives. And there's, with the information I have received, that, you know, there have been, the people over there in that land of Palestine have been decimated, you know, overkill. And the Israel, so-called God's chosen people, are the ones that are doing this. And I tell you this, I'll make mention of that, those people are not God's chosen people. By no way, no how, no form, no fashion. We know that they designed this. We know that they the Ashkenazi. They're not even acting like God's chosen people. If they was God's chosen people, where is the blessing that Israel supposed to be bringing to the rest of the world? They got their teachings and their information. They supposed to have been, according to biblical texts, priests unto the nations. They're not being priests unto the nations. They done took the information, because they not the real people that supposed to be there, and they have hogged it up and regurgitated into their own so-called people, and then they even spin the junk. A lot of people say, man, we got to support Israel, support Israel. It's a blessing when you support Israel. When you support the real Israel, that's your blessing. Because these people over here, you read the Talmud, you so-called Christians, you so-called believers in Jesus, they said that Mary played the role of the harlot with carpenter's sons. And then we're looking at this situation with the funding that's going for the war. Not just the war, but the war with the Ukrainians. These foreign people, these other nations, receive more benefits from the taxpayers' dollars than the taxpayers ourselves. And that is another lie. And it's just lies on top of lies on top of lies. George Washington shut down the cherry tree, blah, 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 blah. Lies, man. You know, and the whole thing is these lies, as I mentioned in former videos, that when you be lying to people, you be casting spells on them. And so many people are enchanted with the lies of this nation, the forefathers of this nation, and their collusion and collaboration against the people, that make the people think, oh, you got to stay away from that person. You don't deal with this person. You don't deal with that. Don't do all these different types of things, and you're going to be okay. All the thing they was doing was separating us, because they know we got a common cause at the end of the day. We're not considered to be the blue bloods, or, you know, the highly favored in this situations of how the government factors are governing. Lies on top of lies on top of lies. Money for war, no money for peace. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you this message in love, and I bring you this message in peace. And this video is for entertainment purposes only. Have a great day, blessed day on purpose, with purpose, and life is all purpose. Do your homework and come to your own conclusion. Don't believe nothing I say. Oneness.